Hi, everybody. Now I'm going to share this link to my regular pub quiz team so they can see it. So hopefully I did that right this time. Let's see. Just typed in the words, that should work. Hopefully work. Never done a YouTube live stream before. It's not hard, it's just I couldn't figure out how to share the actual link to my people because I've made this private for now. I may post it someplace eventually. As an introduction, in case anybody's happened to watch, Felix Trench does this pub quiz every single Tuesday. You can find him on Twitter, YouTube, on his coffee site. And he couldn't do it this week, but we really get a kick out of doing the live stream pub quiz. So I just came up with 10 questions just to kind of keep our hand in. So, let's see. Nathan and Hannah are looking at their messenger right now, so they may join. Let's see. I love a coffee. I'm trying to remember all the Felix Trenchisms from weeks and weeks and weeks of pub quiz that we've been doing. And that seemed one of them. Except with him, he really likes water. He thinks it's delicious. Oh, guys. Anna's typing something. My necklaces are tangled. My necklaces are tangled. Eat. Yay! Nathan's here. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Hannah. She's getting on her computer. Okay. I really may post this someplace at some point. So. Yeah, maybe I should start communicating in the chat window. It's just 10 questions, by the way. Felix does 40 plus a photo round, and I did not do a photo round this time. I couldn't think of anything to do. I should have done like flags. Just pick a country, pick a continent rather, and just put all of their flags and make you guess. But I've got some interesting ones, I think. Some of them seem to be more specifically interesting to me, but in a pub quiz, there's always questions that you're going to ask that everybody's just making random guesses because no one knows. It's a rule. If it's a live stream, I have to put the cat on the stream first. This is Cricket. Say hi, Cricket. She's a sweetie. But she hates it when people don't pay attention to her. Right. That's how you want to say it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, cat hair everywhere. I need to get brushed. It's also kind of hot here in San Diego, so I think she's feeling a little grumpy. Ready? Cat hair everywhere. I believe once I have 3 participants, I will. Oh, Hannah's there! Hey! Yay! Waves madly back. All right, cool. All right. So should we wait on anyone else? Right now we have Catherine and Hannah and Nathan, who are all family members of mine. We have occasional people who join us, but I can always send them the link to this video later if they want to just play after the fact. So that's cool. Cool. I guess I will. Oh, Jen's probably in surgery. We do have a vet friend and car. So I will just start, if that's all right. If you guys are cool with that, I will move this window here so I can be more of the time looking at you than someplace else. Yeah, put that there. Put that there. That Hannah just asks, are we keeping our answers? That is a very good question. How would you guys like to play? Would you like to do the usual communicate in the chat window to kind of consolidate answers, or would everybody like to answer the questions separately for themselves? Since we're not participating with people all over the world, we're just participating with people in 3 different states. I don't know how Felix does this every week. I'm just sort of like putting my questions out there, and then you don't get a response because people are typing and everything. And I'm just like, this is weird. I'm used to doing podcasts where you may be doing it remotely, but you are still having like a very instant communication thing. And Hannah's considering that one. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. We can do that. That way, so nobody shout out the answers in the messenger chat, or yes, nobody shout out the answers on the messenger chat or in the YouTube chat. And if anybody joins later and happens to shout out the answers someplace, that's fine. If we get somebody who comes in, we won't hold it against them. So, all right. So it's time for the quiz. I forget what Felix always says at the beginning of the quiz. It's quiz time. The rules are no Googling, and I'm always right, except for the fact that I can't enforce the first thing, and I have no confidence in the second thing. So, but anyway, here's the very first question. Question number 1. According to several sources, Georgia, the state, is the largest producer of peanuts in the USA. So what states are the next 3 leading producers of peanuts in the United States? So Georgia's the number 1. Who is number 2, 3, and 4? And the reason why I say 2, 3, and 4 is there is some debate as to who's number 2, but those top 4 always seem to be the same. There's just a little bit of movement between the next one. So anyway, once again, according to several sources, leading producer of peanuts in the USA, which states are the next 3? Okay. That one occurred to me. We were talking with Jada and my friends Rocco and Mark on the weekend, and we happened to be talking about bald peanuts, and wanted to know where you could actually get peanuts, like raw peanuts in the United States, and that led me down a rabbit hole. So anyway, and shout out if you ever need me to repeat a question. I will move on to the next one. Who was the winner of the 1970 Super Bowl? You can tell these questions were all yeah, Republic of Georgia. I'm not sure. So Nathan was saying, can they even grow peanuts in the Republic of Georgia? I'm not sure, but I thought I'd be safe on that one. Anyway, question number 2, the winner of the 1970 Super Bowl. Be proud of me. I don't know sports, but I thought I needed to get a sports question in there just to make sure these weren't all questions of things that I like. All right. And everybody ready? Need another couple seconds. On to question number 3. Question number 3, it's the maths question. What is the square root of 650.25? I don't think he's ever done a decimal place for the big number, so I thought I would do that one. Oops, buffering. Oh, can you still see me? Everybody still see me? You still doing okay? Oh. Okay, all right, we're back. Okay, yeah. Please let me know if we buffer. My Wi-Fi is not bad here, but it does this sporadic thing where it just stops working, so probably makes it bad. Okay. So once again, this is question. I didn't number these questions, so I probably should have done that. In a minute, I'm just adding some numbers so I know how to go back. I only have 10. It's not like it's that hard. Anyway, question number 3, the maths question is, what is the square root of 650.25? Catherine will probably get this one. She always gets this one. It's possible. Yeah, it's not particularly old because I got all new stuff put in, but sorry. Yeah, sorry. Catherine is saying, I said Catherine will probably get this one, and she just responded, no, I won't. Sorry, this one may be harder than I thought, but anyway. Yeah, the router's not particularly old, but it may be old enough. I don't know. Okay, so that was the square root of 650.25. Moving on to question number 4. So, we only have our old one about a year. Well, yeah, I'm sure routers die faster than I think they will. Okay, question number 4. Perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all kinds of what? I'll say that again. Perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all kinds of what? Coptic is spelled C-O-P-T-I-C. Not sure that helps or not. That's question number 4. Getting in some numbers on these things. All right, so I'm just numbering my questions because this is harder than I thought to keep track. Oh, yeah. Catherine's feeling confident on question number 4. So once again, question number 4. Perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all kinds of what? Moving on to question number 5. Now, this is a Broadway question. Broadway is currently shut down, of course, because of COVID, but before it shut down, what is the longest currently running Broadway musical? It is still running as of pre-COVID days, but the longest currently running Broadway musical. And I did try to find at least 2 sources for each of my questions, but if you guys have different sources that say different things, then we can discuss. Once again, question number 5, the longest currently running Broadway musical. All right. Moving on to number 6. This is the Elizabeth question. This is something that probably nobody else is going to care as much about except me, but I just thought it was kind of a fun thing to throw in there. It is the tarot card question. Haha. How many cards are in the Rider-Waite tarot deck? Now, this is when you think about tarot cards, a lot of times these are the cards you're thinking of. They've been around for a very long time. They kind of standardized the designs in tarot decks. So there is a specific number of cards that is in this deck. So question number 6, how many cards in the Rider-Waite tarot deck? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I definitely suggest you Google it because they're very fun. I like them. And if you don't know what tarot cards are, that's probably a longer discussion. So, question number 6, how many cards in the Rider-Waite tarot deck? Question number 7. Another me question, I suppose, possibly a Catherine question, possibly a Nathan question, and a Hannah question. She could be in on this kind of stuff. Anyway, who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960? I don't need the title. I just need the author. If you happen to know the title, that's cool too. But who won the Hugo Award? Hugo Awards is the awards for fantasy and science fiction. So this would be classic sci-fi, I suppose. Who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960? Dun, 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 dun. Question number 7. Who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960? Email from one of my coworkers, and it's just a communication about how hot it is, so I don't have to address that right away. All right, question number 8. Shakespeare published a quarto of sonnets in 1609. How many sonnets did it contain? Question number 8. Shakespeare published a quarto of sonnets in 1609. How many sonnets did it contain? Bonus question, which I will also say in the answer is, what's a quarto? I had to look that one up too. Question number 8. Shakespeare published a quarto of sonnets in 1609. How many sonnets did it contain? All right. Question number 9. What is the capital of Ghana? Ghana. And everybody who knows me knows that I have been waiting for a question like this in the regular pub quiz. Hasn't quite happened yet. Anyway, number 9. What is the capital of Ghana? Well, that's all right. I kind of wanted to, I didn't want to go too easy on these. Hannah was saying, what's a quarto is probably the only answer that she can get. It's just kind of scrambling for questions. So I always feel like Felix has a really good balance of easy questions to hard questions. I don't know that I've maintained that balance, but I had fun coming up with questions. That was kind of neat. So number 9, what is the capital of Ghana? Ghana. And for your final question, who was the 17th U.S. president? Number 10, who was the 17th U.S. president? I realized after I made these that I did not include a London question, which is this is a backup quiz for Felix Trench. I probably should have, but I did not. Oh, Catherine said, she was like, lots of wags here. I'm like, wags? Oh, wild ass guesses. That's fine. That's all right. This is where I guess our collaboration with all of our teammates helps, because, sometimes I can just bounce answers off of each other. Even if nobody knows it, you can come up with something that sounds reasonable. So number 10, who was the 17th U.S. president? Nathan says he's confident in 2. All right. I guess this was unintentionally the fun round. Okay, so do you guys want to put in your answers in YouTube, or do you want to put your answers over on the Facebook Messenger? Catherine's saying, I'm going to be interested in seeing if between the 3 of us we can manage to get all of them. I don't know. Catherine says Facebook Messenger would be easiest. So what I will do is I will read the question and say go, and then you guys put in your answer for number 1, and then I'll give you the answer. How about that? Sound good? Okay. So normally I'd be like, pens down, ticks and crosses, everybody. No, we're not doing it that way this time. All right, so I will need your answers now in Facebook Messenger for question number 1. According to several sources, hang on. A lot of answers here. Hang on. Kevin's like, wait, hang on just a sec. Sorry, moving too fast. Hannah's on her computer, so YouTube is fine. Oh, you know what? You don't. Somebody had said we'll put our answers in Facebook Messenger, so I am perfectly content to not have anybody put answers anyplace, and I'll just read the answers aloud the way we would do on the pub quiz. Separate messages to you or in the group chat. I think we may just not, Catherine's wondering where we're going to put our messages. I guess it might be easier to just, I will trust that if you say you got it right, you got it right. I don't need to have evidence in the chat since it's 3 of us. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to read the answers now. So, and that is more interesting, I think, than waiting around for everybody's answers, I suppose. Okay, so I'm about to give you the answers. So question number 1. According to several sources, Georgia, the state, is the leading producer of peanuts in the USA. Which states are the next 3? And the answer is Florida, Alabama, and Texas. I did not expect Florida was going to go in there. I really did. In some places I've seen, they say that Florida is the number 2 producer of peanuts in the United States. And a couple places it said that Alabama was, and I didn't want to assume that it was just Alabama trying to get their name up at the top of that list. But yeah, so Georgia is the number 1 producer, then Florida, then Alabama, and then Texas. Oh, Nathan got Florida, Catherine got Alabama. Nice. I just thought yeah, I know. I mean, I think North Carolina is definitely one of the producers, but those were the top 4. And the reason why it came up in a conversation is because they actually grow peanuts out in California too, and they do pretty well, but not as well as the other places. Anyway, answers. Question number 2. Who was the winner of the 1970? Yes, we can get 1 point for each one right. Absolutely. I'm not, and we can do half points. I'm not going to stand on ceremony on that one. Question number 2. The winner of the 1970 Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm curious to see if the sports people in this group got that, because if it had been me, I wouldn't have gotten that. I had to look it up. Question number 2. The winner of the 1970 Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs. Catherine guessed the Bears. Oh, Nathan got it. I had a feeling Nathan and Hannah would probably get that more than me and Catherine. She said I would not have gotten that. Well, I felt like I had to get a sports question in there, but, me being a sports person, I'm like, oh, what's a sports thing? The Super Bowl. Sure. Hannah guessed Steelers. Fair. For me, it would have been a matter of coming up with names of teams, much less the right one. Probably. Hannah says Steelers probably won winner all that time. That you know more than me. And question number 3. The maths question. Square root of 650.25 is 25.5. Did anybody get that? Anywhere close? If you got it within 3 whole digits, I will count that. So, anyone? The question number 3. Square root of 650.25 is 25.5. Catherine got it. I knew you would. You get it every week. Gee, howdy. Yeah, I think Catherine and we definitely solve those maths questions the same way. When it's a square root, you just pick a number that sounds reasonable and multiply it by itself and see how close you got, and then you just go lower and just go bigger and all that kind of stuff. So 26.5. Wow, that was really close. I think you should get a half a point for that. I actually do. I was going to say that if you can get it within 2 digits, I'm going to count it. So you should definitely get some type of partial point for 26.5. That's awfully close. Yep, only energy for one guess, and then I guesstimate based on that. It's fair. I'm sure there's like a mathematical, like an actual mathematical way to figure out the square root of something, but I'm just always guessing and going lower and higher until I get it. So yes, square root of 650.25 is 25.5. Question number 4. Perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all types of what? The answer is bookbinding. Oh, Catherine may be on a call. That's okay. I will have this up later, and I will also post all the answers. Who knows? Maybe I'll post it in the YouTube chat just so we can have them for posterity. So, which is a shame because I think this one is the one that she probably got because it seems like an us sort of question. Perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all types of bookbinding. Oh, yeah. Did you get the answer to that one, Catherine? I wasn't sure. Joints or columns? No. It's funny that I had perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post. I had wire as well, and my brain told me that wire was going to give it away, so I didn't include that. So fonts, that's a good guess. I like that one. So yeah, I don't know why. I think it's because I was looking at there's some Instagram people I follow that do tutorials sometimes on the weekends, and it's a paid thing, but one had a bookbinding tutorial for like small pamphlets and everything. And then that just sort of led me on to, I want to know more about bookbinding. So perfect, Coptic, Japanese, and screw post are all types of bookbinding. Okay, next question. Longest running before COVID-19 Broadway musical. The answer is Phantom of the Opera, which I wouldn't have gotten if I'd been giving that question. I was sure it was Cats. So question number 5. The longest currently running Broadway musical is Phantom of the Opera. Nerd Forge channel. She does a few bookbinding videos. I will definitely check that out. I don't need anything fancy, but just to kind of make it look a little more professional, I suppose. Yeah, they even said Cats. Yeah, I totally would have. I just never really thought. I know Phantom of the Opera is a popular musical, but I hadn't guessed that it was the longest running one. But a couple different sources said that it was. So, longest running Broadway musical is Phantom of the Opera. Question number 6. More wild ass guesses on this one. Question number 6. How many cards in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck? How many cards in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck? It's 78. Maybe getting real close to that one. I'm curious to see what people's guesses were. How many cards in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck? Nope, 36. Yeah. I would have originally said 52 because of the same number of cards in a regular one, but it's significantly more than a regular deck of cards. 72. Yeah, that's close. That's definitely close. And there are other tarot decks that I think have more or less, but Rider-Waite's kind of considered one of the standards, so I went with that one. Yeah, I couldn't. Major Arcana. I can't remember exactly how many of those are Major Arcana. Anyway, number of cards in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck is 78. Question number 7. Who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960? So if it had been me kind of getting this question, I would have been trying to think of old sci-fi writers. And you may guess this even if you didn't know what it was. The answer is Robert Heinlein, R.A. Heinlein, for Starship Troopers. Curious to see if anybody got that one. I would have probably guessed Asimov, just because I know he's been writing for a minute. So, but yeah, Robert A. Heinlein, Starship Troopers. A terrible movie, and not really a very interesting book, honestly, but a classic. Harlan Ellison, yeah, I would have. Bradbury is good too, yeah. You're all guessing the things that I would have guessed. I probably would have guessed Harlan Ellison too, but I don't know how many Hugo Awards he won. Almost went with Asimov, yeah. If it makes a difference, Kurt Vonnegut's Sirens of Titans was nominated the same year, which I think is a much better book than Starship Troopers, but maybe for its day. Like Sirens of Titan reads like a more modern sci-fi story. It's a great story. It is. It's not really happy, but that is, Sirens of Titan is great. Treatment of women is real problematic, though. Come to think, yeah, bit of rape apologists in there. Yeah. Anyway, maybe not Sirens of Titan. I always enjoyed that book, but the older I get, the more I realize the treatment of women is not great. Anyway, question number 7. Who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960s? Robert A. Heinlein for Starship Troopers. Question number 8. Shakespeare published a quarto of sonnets in 1609. How many sonnets did it contain? The answer is 154. My original question was, how many sonnets did he write? But apparently there are sonnets in Romeo and Juliet. There's a couple partial sonnets in some of the other plays. So I was like, okay, this one book that he published, how many sonnets were in it? 154. Curious to see what the guesses were on that one. And Hannah, if you want to chime in with what a quarto is to show off your knowledge, I had to look this one up too. Nathan guessed 140, Hannah guessed 112. I'm waiting to see if Hannah wants to chime in on what a quarto is, which is, Patrick Stewart's been reading the sonnets. He's up to 113 or 14. Good, I'm glad we get more of those for a while. Quarto is a book that's folded into quarters, and it's exactly what it is. They have you have one big page, and then you have 4 pages on one side and 4 pages on the other, and then you fold it and make it into like a book shape after folding in 4s, and then you cut the edges so that you have 4 pages. So you have to know exactly which way to position all the pages on the big page, I suppose. Me with the hand gestures. But it's a bookbinding question, so that's cool. All right, so that was 154, the number of sonnets in Shakespeare's 1609 quarto. Number 9, what is the capital of Ghana? I asked this one because this is one of the ones that I have memorized. I just figured after the first few weeks of doing Felix Trench's pub quiz, there's a lot of questions about African countries, and a lot of times I wouldn't even know it was an African country when I heard it. So I've set myself a goal of memorizing all of them, and Ghana is one of the ones I've memorized. The capital of Ghana is Accra, A-C-C-R-A, Accra. Oh, most of the original plays were first recorded as quartos because that's how the actors copied them. Oh, that's cool. I like that. The official plays tend to be from the first folio that was published after his death. Hannah has all the Shakespeare knowledge. So the capital of Ghana is Accra. Nathan, did you get that one? I saw a yay. I'm just saying things about Shakespeare because otherwise I feel dumb. We all do that. I do that all the time. if I can't get the actual answer. I mean, you've seen me do that in the pub quiz. He asks a question about something about Africa, but it's not a capital. And I'm like, I don't know that one. But I know the capital of Ghana is Accra. Anyway, yay, Nathan got that one. Cool. So what is the capital of Ghana? Is Accra. Oh, something I learned from reading scam baiting forums. You know, I think Jada's new beau over in Georgia, I think he's actually originally from Ghana, I think is what she said. So that was cool. Final question. Who was the 17th U.S. president? The answer is Andrew Johnson. Also the first one to be impeached, I believe. 17th U.S. president was Andrew Johnson. Anyone get that one? I knew I would throw a U.S. president question in there, and I wanted to go far back enough that we couldn't, like, count back in our mind which one it was. So, anyway. Yes, Nathan got it. Had a feeling he would get it. So I will go through the answers once again real fast. Number one, largest four states that produce the largest amount of peanuts are Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and Texas. Number two, winner of the 1970 Super Bowl is Kansas City Chiefs. Number three, the square root of 650.25 is 25.5. Number four, perfect Coptic, Japanese, wire, and screw post are all types of bookbinding. The longest currently running Broadway musical pre-COVID-19 is Phantom of the Opera. How many cards in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck is 78. Who won the Hugo Award for Best Novel in 1960 is Robert A. Heinlein for Starship Troopers. Number 8, Shakespeare published a quarto of sonnets in 1609, and it has 154 in it. Number 9, what's the capital of Ghana? It's Accra. And number 10, who was the 17th U.S. president? Looking at some of the answers here, blah, 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 blah. I was kind of, those were the ones I got. Yeah. You know, Grant was a pretty fucking close guess. Yes, it was. Grant would have been really close. Yes. So anyway, well, you all did terribly well, terribly well. And I hope this was, you know, something fun to do on a week where we didn't have Felix Trenches. So it helps me realize exactly, like, I don't know, there's like a difficulty level I was aiming at, and I was actually going not quite so much fun round with this one, but I think I pretty much got a fun round level of difficulty. So anyway, hope everybody is having a good Tuesday, and thank you very much for participating. I do like being part of a team. Hannah said, you know, I like being part of a team. Yeah, that actually makes it even more fun because it's not just interacting with the person giving the quiz, it's interacting with everybody else in the stream. So I don't know, maybe if I were to do this again, maybe we would go to a regular pub quiz format and have our team, everybody come together with the answers, pool our knowledge, so to speak. I will now end this stream. I have an ad I have to build for work now. But thank you guys. This is really, I'm really glad I got a chance to do this. I've been thinking about having a backup one at some point. I also don't like feeling competitive against my teammates either, Hannah mentioned. I feel like even if I can only contribute to 1 or 2 answers, even if I'm just throwing out guesses that help somebody get to the right guess, I will take that assist. That's totally fun. But yes, I have new trivia facts as well. So anyway, everybody continue to have a good Tuesday, I hope. And I guess I will talk to everybody later. Bye.